Let's move on to the data import and export page, and so we'll click on the data tab. And I'm going to back up. The first time you launch iGeoCacher, you'll see probably this screen, and you can read the description here. But the essence of it is you have two ways currently that you can load geocaches onto the iPhone. The iPhone is inherently a web-enabled device. So either way is actually using the web, using an HTTP style connection over TCP/IP to load that data, to load those GPX files which contain your cache data. You can use your own server or PC, and this means that if you have access to a web server, either because your ISP offers you that service as part of your internet on-ramp, so to speak, or you have a friend's web server or other web server on which you can post your own content, you can certainly use that. You can even use your own PC, and most PCs are not hard to set up as web servers using either a third-party software, or in the case of the MacBooks, it comes built in. Or you can use my servers. Now, a lot of people like to use my servers because they don't have to set anything up, and I put them there as a convenience, and you're welcome to use them as an iGeoCacher customer. Currently, I'm not charging anything for that because the monthly rate is so low that I'm just making up for it out of geocacher sales. So just enjoy the service if you choose to use it. So you pick one or the other. In this case, I'm going to say use your own server and PC, and that brings up this particular screen. What you see here is the URL for my MacBook, and it's on my local network, and there's my user account, so it's this is the way it would look for the MacBook. And you have 5 fields here corresponding to the 5 groups, and you just merely put the file name that you plan to download into the group in which you want to download it. So in this case, I have a group of caches called poftown.gpx, and my web root directory on my MacBook is this IP address and my user account on the MacBook. So really the total URL here for this is http 192.168.1110 /poftown.gpx, and you can actually put that full URL, the root plus the individual file with a slash between them in your browser, and actually see and use that, in fact, as a good third party, I suppose, or external test to make sure that you've got connectivity. And it's usually connectivity where there are issues. The C buttons over here on the left will clear out that particular group. So I could clear out everything that was in group 1, for example, by clicking on this and confirming that I want to delete it. And then I can download Poftown GPX from my website into group 1 by clicking on the download button here. And we see 163 caches downloaded. So that's really all there is to download from your own PC, or this could be just as easily be the full URL to whatever folder on whatever web server that you can hit using the network connectivity available to your iPhone or iPod Touch. Notice I'm Wi-Fi connected here, and the particular file that you want to download. Again, if you want to check that out, you can use that, put a slash behind it and the file name, and put that URL in your browser, and you should be able to see that same information. Now, you can clear the entire database by clicking on the Clear DB button, and you notice it says delete all, so I've cleared the whole database. Once again, I can download those caches then. And in addition, it's important to bear in mind this download mode here, and there are 4 possibilities, and some of this is a bit legacy, but you have add as finds, merge, and merge as finds. Now, the only difference between add and merge is that any caches that are in the file that is being downloaded when you're merging, the GCID for those caches is checked, and any caches currently in the database with that same GCID are deleted first before the caches that you're downloading are added. So it's a last one in wins, and it's important to understand that that's all that merge does. Now, if you wanted to have a cache in more than one group, that wouldn't work, because as soon as you merged a cache of a given GCID, it would be the only one there. It would be in whatever group you decided to download it, and if it appeared in any other groups, it would have been erased by virtue of the merge. So if you want to have the same cache, that is the same GCID, in more than one place, then you need to be using the add mode or add as finds mode so that you get the additional records. In that case, whatever you download is added to the database, period, and whatever else is already there, even if it's a duplicate, is still there. And just to demonstrate that, we're going to go ahead and add mode, and we're going to add POFtown GPX again, and we got another 163 caches downloaded. But notice over here we now have twice as many caches, and if we sort by name, we'll see that they're two of each of the same cache. So it's important to understand how that operates. And again, if you're wondering why that's there that way, there are some legacy reasons for that, because people want to be able to arrange their caches in certain ways. This gives you the maximum flexibility, but if you start showing up with duplicates that you don't want, it probably means that you downloaded them and you were in add mode and you really wanted to be in merge mode. Now, the as finds are not as finds. I'm going to go ahead and clear the database just to get rid of all those duplicates. If I add those things as finds, let's say that this particular GPX happened to have all the caches in it and I wanted to mass mark them as found, or I had a GPX file that just had all my finds in it. Maybe I prepared that with a third-party program like Mat Caching or geocache. Now I'm doing the same thing as I did before, but I'm marking them at the same time as finds during the download. And so once again, I'll download the 163 caches here, and now if I go over, you notice all these caches have the green highlighting, and if I were to pick one and look at its edit settings, you see that it's marked as found. So that's just a way that you can mass designate a group of caches as found during your download rather than having to come in and edit each one individually. Again, that's a convenience for you in your cache management, if you'll pardon that pun. Alright, that's probably about all we need to say about this particular section of importing from your own PC or server. So I'm going to come back over here by backing up to the screen and say use the iPhone server. In this particular case, the iPhone server URL will already be filled out by default when you download the program, so you really don't have to change that. What you do need to do, though, is have an ID on my server, and one of the ways you can do that, and that should be a valid email address. It can be an email address that you own. Go ahead and put that in this blank, and then click on Get ID. When you do, it will request an ID from my server, and if you've already requested it, it doesn't hurt to do it again if you need to. It's just going to tell you on the subsequent screen that comes up that you, in fact, have already done that, as it is here. You see it says that this ID is already registered. So, I think we'll stop that there.